Hi everyone, welcome back. So today we will see how we can place orders using Python and obviously using the FYERS API. So we will go to the order placement on the left side. So let's go to the order placement guide. And here you will see that we can place different kinds of orders. So obviously we can place a limit order, a market order, a stop loss limit order. We can place an order for the intraday. We can also place the order for, let's say, cash and carry, CNC. So different kinds of orders can be placed, and FYERS gives us all these different options very well. So as you can see here in the order placement guide, that when we take any entries, the first thing that we should know is what is the order type. And the first thing is, let me come here in fact. So the first thing is the type. So if we put type is equal to 1, so I'll show you where this type is. That means it's an order type of limit order. And if we put type equal to 2, that means it's a market order. And if you want to put a stop loss limit order, then you will have to put a type equal to 3, or type equal to 3 is for stop loss market, and type equal to 4 is stop loss limit. So that's the first thing that you should know, that type will tell you what kind of an order type it is. Then obviously we have different products. So we have the intraday, we have the CNC, which is used for equities. If you want to trade derivative contracts, so if you want to trade, let's say, future and option, you will have to use margin if you want to, let's say, carry over the trade for the next few days. Otherwise, if you place a derivative contract with an intraday order type, what will happen? If you don't square off on your own, broker FYERS will square it off for you. We also have the cover order and the bracket order, which is I would say, a slightly advanced concept. So this is how we will be taking the entry. So whenever you take the entry, always note that you will have to validate your quantities. That means that one quantity in the equity will be a multiple of 1. So every time we are taking the trade, you should ensure that you're putting the quantity correctly. So we'll take some examples. Every order that we place, we will get what is called an order ID. And that's order ID is extremely important because that will help us to, let's say, edit or modify a particular trade or cancel a particular trade. So let's take some examples. This is where they've given a complete summary also. So obviously this is the symbol on which we want to take the entry. Then we have the quantities. This is an integer. Then, as we said, we have different kinds of order types. If you want to go for a buying opportunity, we will put side equal to 1. And if you want to go for a selling trade, we will put side equal to -1. As you can see, all there, they have the asterisk here. That means all these are necessary. You will have to mention them. The product type can be one of them, the CNC, intraday margin, all one of these. The limit price, obviously the limit price is, you will have to give the limit price in case you're putting a limit order or a stop loss limit order. And if you're putting a stop loss or a stop market order, you will also have to put the stop price. So we'll show this examples. And then comes the disclosed quantity. Usually its default is 0. We generally don't change it. Again, the validity means that whether you want to take the entry right now, which is called an immediate or cancel, or you want to valid for the entire day. Usually we will be using the day. So we will be putting validity as day. Offline orders means whether you want to place an AMO order or the current market order. 99% of the times you will be placing the normal market order. So we will be putting the offline order as false. And then in case we want to put a CO or a BO order, then we will be using this stop loss variable as well. And similarly, in case of BO orders, we will also have to put the take profit order. And like I said, the order tag is not necessary. You can use it if you really want to. So let's look at the code on the right side. If I just click on Python, this is the entire code that they've given. So again, I'm just copying this code, and this is the success response that they have shown at the bottom. So we will not be looking at the success response. We only require the top code. So I'm essentially going to copy this code till here, and let us now try to place some trades and see how it is working out. So at the top, I've just given these examples in case you forget what are the important points to remember. I've slightly modified the code because I've already done my login. So I've added the client ID and the access token by reading from the text file like we saw in the market data file. we are creating our FYERS model, and let's try to test out a trade now. So let us say we want to trade on idea. So I've put symbol as NSE colon idea EQ. Let's say we want to trade one quantity. Now this is important. As you can see, the type I've mentioned is 2. So if you don't remember, let's quickly scroll up and see what is 2. A 2 means it's a market order. So let's try for a market order in the beginning. So I put 2. Side means a buy or a sell. So if I put a 1, it's a buying. So let me just write it here. 1 means buy and -1 means sell. So let's buy it first. I'm doing it on intraday. Again, we have the option of putting the cash and carry also. So let's try intraday first. And then the other things I have to put 0 because it's a market order. So there is no limit price, there is no stop price. And other things I've made as the normal default values only. This is where it actually places the trade. So this is the data part is our inputs. And then this is where it uses the place order function to place the actual trade. And it will even tell us whether the order was placed or not. So let's put a quit here and let's run the actual code. So you can see when I ran the code, it says code 1101 message successfully placed order, and it also gives us the order ID. Just remember the last 4 parts, which is 2421. So now let us check whether this order actually got placed or not. So let's come here and let us see whether our order has been placed. And you can see here that our order has been placed. As you can see this, let's go to the orders tab. We can see that we have bought idea one quantity. It shows limit price, but actually it was a market order. So we've got the market order, which was 6.75, because I'm pretty sure idea is trading at around that price. And as you can see, we have the order time, the order ID, and let us check the whether the order ID is matching to what we have written. So let's try to find where is the order ID mentioned here. Please always remember that this is the exchange order ID. This is not what we are getting. We are getting the OMS order ID, which is 2421. So as you can see here, this is the 2421. So you can also confirm that yes, this is the order ID that I'm getting. It is the one that I've placed on my own. So that's the normal trade, and as you can see, it's an intraday trade. It's an intraday trade. Let's try to exit this now. Let's try to exit this position. So I'm coming back, and rather than going for side equal to 1, let's try to make it -1. Again, I'm not changing other things. Let's run it and it should exit the order. So again, exiting means I'm selling it, so it will exit the entire trade. And you can see again, successfully placed order. It has given me a new order ID. And if you come here, we have got the sell trade. That means there are no more positions left. So clearly all positions have been squared off because I've taken one buying trade and one selling trade. So this was the basic where we have used the market order. Now let us try using the limit order, and we'll use it, let's say with cash and carry. So obviously if I want to buy something at a cheaper price, let's say the current price is 6.76 and I want to buy it at 6.7, how am I going to use that? So the first thing is we will have to change the side to buy, and let's change the order type to 1. Now if you don't remember, you can quickly scroll up, and 1 is a limit order. So we will be putting limit order now. Now, whenever you're using a limit order, obviously we'll have to change the limit price also, and let's make it 6.7. And if I want to change from intraday to, let's say, positional trading, so again, we will have to change this also. And for that, we will have to use CNC. We'll have to use CNC. So we can change this to CNC. Again, if you want to confirm, you can quickly come back here. And you can check here what is the name here. CNC means cash and carry. So we've confirmed it. Let's run it now. Let's run it. And you can see here it again says the successfully placed order, and we've got our order ID. But please note that I've put a limit price. So let us see whether the order actually got triggered or not. So you can see here it's a limit order on a CNC basis. the limit price is 6.7, but it is still not triggered. As you can see, it's still working. That means it is still open because obviously the market is at 6.75. So it will only get triggered once it touches the 6.7 level. So we have not yet triggered the trade. It is in the system, but it will not come in the positions. It's not yet filled. So this is also working fine. So we've already seen the market order. We've already seen the limit order along with the CNC and the intraday. Obviously, if I put a limit order with a higher price, let's try that also. So let us say I want to place one more order, and this time I am putting the limit order as 6.8, which is much higher than the current market price. Let's see what happens. It says order placed successfully. We've got the order ID. And in this case, you will see that this order has actually been traded. Always remember that when you put a limit order, you can see it's in the positions. So when you place a limit order, a buying limit order, when the price is above the current market price, what will happen? The exchange will let you buy it at the current market price because you're obviously getting a better price. So this one has been traded at 6.76, but our 6.7 order is still open. So that's how we will trade, or we will use the limit order. Let me quickly show you the last example where we will be changing or trading a stop loss limit order. Usually I would not like to use the stop loss market order. It's very risky because when the market moves very violently, we can have big slippages. So let's try for a stop loss limit order now. So in the case of stop loss limit order, we will have to use type equal to 4. So let's put type equal to 4 now. And a stop loss limit order in case of buying will work if I put the stop loss price above the current market price. So let's say we put it at 6.9. And again, in this case, we will also have to put the stop price. Let's put it 6.9 again, and let's run it. And maybe we can do it on an intraday basis so that we can see a separate order being created there. All right, we have run this code and it is telling us that the limit price should be greater than the stop loss price. So it is not allowing us to have the same stop loss price. So let's make it 6.91. And the order has been placed. Let's try it out. So we have the limit order here. As you can see here, we have the stop loss limit order here. This means that this will get triggered only when idea touches 6.9. So when it touches 6.9, that is when this order will get triggered. So I hope you're clear with the difference between the limit order and the stop limit order. A limit order on the buying side we will be putting the limit price below the current market price, whereas a stop limit order, which is usually a stop loss order, we will be putting above the current market price. As you can see here, and both of them are currently open, they are not yet filled because the market has not touched 6.7 or 6.9. Let's try out the last one also. Let's also try out the stop market order if you want to. So let's quickly change this to 3 and let's run it. And in this case, we will have to put the stop price equal to the limit price because it's a stop market order. It still says limit price does not match. Okay, we cannot put any limit price in the stop market order. Let's make it 0. And the order has been placed here. Let's try it out. And you can see that this is the stop price order. This is normal stop order. This is a stop loss market. That means as soon as the market touches 6.9, it will execute your trade. It is essentially the limit price here is essentially 6.9. So as you can see, all the different order types are working perfectly along with the different types of products, which is CNC and intraday. I have not used the margin because in case of margin, you will have to use the derivatives to take the entry. So these are all the order type, but now the question is, what if I want to modify a particular trade? So let's probably try it. So I'll cancel few trades so that it's much easier to see. So I'm going to cancel few trades. And let us say we only have this one trade, which is the limit order at 6.7. But let's say we want to modify it. How do we do that? So let's talk about that. So now I'm coming down and I'm going to make this a hash so that it doesn't take any more entries. Now this is how we will be modifying a particular trade. For modification, we would require the order ID. That means we will have to tell FYERS which order we want to modify. So I'm going to copy the order ID from here. So this is the OMS order ID. I'm copying this order ID, putting it here. So we want to modify this order, and let us say that I want to change the, so I want to keep it as a buying trade only, or I want to change, so it will remain as a buying trade, but let us say we want to update the limit price. So rather than having the limit price of 6.7, let's make it 6.71 and let's run it now. So just to confirm, currently our order is an open order with the limit price of 6.7. But what we want to do is we want to update it to 6.71. How do we do that? You are using this limit order. We are keeping the limit order type as 1, which is a limit order. We are updating the limit price. And this is the order ID that we are targeting. So let's run it now. And you can see it says successfully modified order. Let's see. And you will notice that the updated limit price is 6.71. So clearly the limit price has been updated. So this is how you can modify a certain order. This is how you can modify a certain order. Let's check out the documentation also, because you will not be able to modify everything. That's very important. And so I'll quickly show you what I mean. So when you go for order modification, this is what order modification is. You will only be able to modify certain things. That means the type, we will be able to modify the type. Let's say we want to convert from a limit order to a market order. That's possible. Limit price, obviously, if we are converting it to a limit order, or if you're converting it to a stop loss limit order, we will be able to update those. And we can also update the quantity. But if you want to update, let's say from a buying trade to a selling trade, that is not possible. So we can only update, as I said, we can only update few parameters, which I've shown here. So we try to update the limits. Let's now try to update the quantity. So let's say I want to update 6.72 and I want to make this a quantity of 2. Let's run it again. And now you will notice that not only has our limit price changed, our quantity has been updated as well. So that's how you will be updating or modifying any order. And the final part is we want to sometimes check whether a particular order has triggered or not. So we can do that as well using the order status. So I'll show you how to use that. So for that, you will have to use order book. So if you write order book here, you will be taken to the order book code. Now we can either find what is the current order book for all the trades or for a particular trade. So let's try to find for a particular trade, and let's say we are using it for this ID, which is an open order. So I'm going to copy this ID and I'm going to put it here. And as you can see here, this is the order book. I'm going to run it now and let's see what is the order status of this particular order. And you can see that the order ID is telling me that this is a symbol of idea. We have bought it side buy. This is the stop price. It is not filled. As you can see, the filled quantity is 0. And it is essentially telling us that by just looking at the filled quantity, we can say that it's an open order. So that is how, if you want to get the order status of a particular order ID, if you want to get the order status of all the orders, you can just remove this part and run the code again. And what this is going to tell you is all the orders that we have placed so far. Again, this might look very cumbersome to read, but it's the same concept that we used in the market data file, where you can use, so this is essentially a dictionary. So you can get the value of each of these components as a separate variable also. The same concept that we had used in the previous code would work here as well. But essentially you're getting all the orders that we have placed so far, whether they have been cancelled, whether they have been filled, everything will be shown here. And based on that, we can go ahead and do our strategies. So I hope this is clear. Thank you for joining in, and I will see you in the next video.